All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Lunch and Learn. I think it's been almost like 2 weeks since we've had um, a Lunch and Learn. So glad for you all to be here with us. Typically, in our Lunch and Learns, we dive into the Beach Boss influencer, social media, marketing information, how to use automation and social influence to build online, how to become the hunted instead of just being the hunter. And so, us learning all of that information is so valuable. We were going to continue to do that. But today, we're doing something a little different because as we move forward in the energy of what we talked about on Sunday night, which is keeping um our goal of where we want to be at the next leadership conference, what rank you want to be at. There are always milestones and checkpoints while you're on your way. And the bottom line is, I want this team to learn how to be, and I don't typically cuss, but badass, badass miracle manifestors, meaning you know how to think and get the results. You know how to ask for something and it shows up. You know how to attract the things that you want in your life and you are good at it, and it happens. And you know the laws, you know the universal principles, you know when you hit the frequency, you know when you miss it. And so what I'm doing today is more of, well, part of it with Bob is going to be on mindset, and then we're going to go into the baseball system, which is going to be skill set. And so those are going to be the two things we talk about today. We may go over the hour. If you got to leave, no problem. I understand that. And we are recording this. Bob Proctor, I probably, but I remember I first heard about Bob in 2006 when I was introduced to The Secret. Remember the movie The Secret? And then the book The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. He was highlighted in The Secret. And even though he had been teaching personal development, had been a mentor of Earl Nightingale since the 70s, it wasn't until The Secret that Bob really blew up and became known truly, truly worldwide in a big way to the masses. So Bob has, I mean, man, he changed my life in so many ways. I've learned so much from Bob and his principles. So today we're going to start out by watching a 14-minute video, and I want you all to take notes because the bottom line is results, right? In order for you to get daily pay, there's something that maybe isn't now that has to happen. That's, you got to get a result. In order for you to get 8 on your left and 8 on your right, things have to happen. Those things that happen are the results. You got to learn how to get results in your life so that the goal that you want can be brought from the non-physical where it is right now, because it's real, it exists, but you got to line your energy up so that you're moving it from the non-physical to this physical world. So, and that you're attracting all the people, the conditions, the circumstances for that desired goal that you want. So we are going to, I'm going to share my screen. With my glasses. And let's see. Let me try to get to this video. Okay. Share sound. Share right there. Okay, y'all. Remember, get out a piece of paper and a pen because the paper never what? It never forgets. You're going to be taking some notes as we go along here. And I may stop just to kind of make sure that you're getting some key points because all of this is very crucial for you all just like learning how to really pull your greatness out of you.
Results should always be under construction. Never, ever, ever be satisfied with the way things are. You want to keep them moving. Where are we here? We are on page 16. Thank you. Now, are you ready? Are you really ready? Most people are extras in their own movie. Isn't that right, Nina?
That is 100% accurate.
That is 100% accurate. Most people are extras in their own movie. They're looking at someone else and they're thinking, they're so good. If only I. And they're making somebody else the star. And they're putting themselves down. They don't think they can do it. What we want to be is the star of our own movie. Now, I'm not talking about going on an ego trip. You have to have a strong ego if you're really going to win. But you don't want to have an ego problem. There's a difference. Now, how do you become the star of your own movie? You decide what you want. You become the director, okay? See, when you're the star, when somebody else is the star, you're not the director. Somebody else is directing your movie. You got to direct your own movie. What do you really want? Now, I got to say, like, I've been working with this stuff for a long time. That is not an easy thing to figure out. Because we have not been encouraged to do that since childhood. If we were, then it would have been a piece of cake. You could knock it off pretty easy. But what do you really want? Can you describe, in a few words as possible, exactly what you want? Now, to do this, you begin by writing, I'm so happy and grateful now that. It's always present tense. I'll tell you how accurate you want to make it. Phil phoned me, 2 weeks ago? Maybe a week ago, I don't know, it wasn't that long ago. And he told me he was going after another Oscar. And I said, and he had sent me a picture of himself holding the Oscar with a note. And I said, Phil, tell you what to do. Get somebody to take a photograph of yourself with the Oscar in one hand, and then get a photograph of yourself with the Oscar in the other hand, and then go to get somebody in Photoshop, and all of a sudden you get an Oscar in both hands. You take the arm off one picture and put it on the other picture. So he has a picture then he sent me of himself holding the two Oscars. I said, if you keep looking at that, carry that around and look at it, I said, and you let that sink right into your subconscious mind, and you can do this through imaging too. I said, when that is impressed upon your subconscious mind, that image must move into form. Not maybe, not sometimes, it must. That's an absolute law. The subjective or the subconscious mind is totally deductive. In other words, it has no originating capacity. It cannot change anything. Whatever you put in, that's exactly what starts to move into form. It's like the earth. I love the way Earl Nightingale put it on the Strangest Secret recording. He said, you can plant nightshade, a deadly poison, and not a 16th of an inch away, you can plant corn, a sweet food. He said, one will come up with just as great an abundance as the other. Now, we'll show you that later on in a slide here that we've got. You could have Earth is energy. It's energy. And it's not all the same. It's on different frequencies. You could take out a shovel full of earth out of the ground, and it could be all kinds of different frequencies. In other words, you can have a seed for corn planted in the earth and jammed right up against the seed for corn is an energy that is not in harmony with the seed corn. But it may be in harmony with a carrot seed. And the carrot seed could be way over here. That earth would move right across and resonate with the carrot seed. Now, you wouldn't see this happening, but that's what actually happens. You see, the earth is like the air, all kinds of different frequencies. And the only thing you can attract is the things that are in harmonious vibration with you. Well, that's the only thing the seed can attract, is what's in harmony with it. So you got to decide what you want. You got to put it in detail. Okay? Now, this is the goal is the most important thing in the world. Phil Goldfine, in the last 20 years, is without question one of the best that I've ever seen at doing this. Sandy is every bit as good as Phil. She just is going after different things. But they will take direction and they'll just exact. And they don't question it. They've got enough understanding to know that whenever idea you're emotionally involved in, that'll move into form. Okay? Now, I've watched the two of them just perform what many people would look at as magic, because they follow direction. I learned to do this, when I was 26, actually. The man that gave me this book, he said, if you'll do exactly what I tell you, until you find out I'm lying or I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's the directive I give to people. Now, I don't coach many people one-on-one. I don't have time for it, so I don't do it. But when I do, if they don't do exactly what I tell them, they're fired. I quit working with them. And that's not an arrogant attitude. I think that's wise. Because what's the point in me spending time with somebody that isn't going to do what I suggest? I'm wasting my time and theirs. Now, time is very valuable. We all get the same amount, so it's what we do with it that makes the difference. If Phil and Sandy do exactly what I tell them, Sandy will put up a little bit more of a fight. Phil doesn't put up any fight at all. He just, she writes the checks, so I take a little bit of crap from her, but not much. But all kidding aside, she is very good at taking direction and then acting on it. Now, they both have enough understanding today to know that what I'm saying really makes sense. When I told Phil, get that picture, within 10 minutes I had a picture back and of him holding the two. In fact, I used it in a seminar. I'll pull it out later on. I'll maybe show it to you tomorrow when I'm introducing him. Now, it's a crappy picture because he took it probably with a phone and he sent it to me on my phone. I took it off my phone and made a slide out of it. So it's not greatest quality, but it gets the idea. Okay? So you want to get your goal and get it right down right. Now, we mentioned before that you have the ability to create your own economy. There's just absolutely no question about it. It doesn't matter what's going on outside, it's what's going on inside. You see, here's the point. We're not talking about a government. We're not talking about government individuals. We're not talking about Caesar's force. We're talking about a universal law. And these are not man-made laws, so they're not going to be changed by man. This is very important we get that straight. The laws are not man-made, so they're not going to be changed by man. There is an absolute law that energy will always move into form. It moves into form, through form, and back into form. That is a law. That's a perpetual transmutation of energy. It's one of the first laws of the universe. Now, there's only half a dozen laws, and everything else is, like we talk about attraction as being a law. It's a secondary law. It's not a primary law at all. Primary law is vibration. And of course, the only thing you can attract are the things that you're in harmonious vibration with. So whatever frequency you're operating on, that's what's going to dictate what you're going to attract. Well, you can create your own economy. Now, let's say economy is not necessarily dollars and cents. We'll take economy as our lifestyle. It's just, we'll use economy as a word for our lifestyle, how we want to live. We can create the lifestyle we want. I feel like I'm blessed. I mentioned that before. I live like a charmed life. I live such a phenomenal life. I really do. I don't know anybody that lives better than me. I just love the way I live. But I've created it. I live the way I like. I was sitting in, I've got a studio that's 50 feet from my house, and the earth is heated, so I don't care if it snows. It melts as it hits. And I can go to my studio. And the studio is it's what you call a floating cell. So they built the studio, and then they built the building inside the building, and the inside doesn't touch the outside, so it's soundproof. It's absolutely incredible. And I've got cameras come out of the ceiling. I can shoot 4 cameras simultaneously, and I can broadcast anywhere in the world from my backyard. Literally. was a couple of guys in from a television station one time. I said, it's sort of like a television. No, Bob, it is a television station. So here I've got my own television station. I can broadcast all over the world from my backyard. I can do what I want. And Scott, I'm going to get Scott up here and tell you how he got here. He's a young guy from Manchester in England. The kid's a genius. He can, with his phone back there, he can control the cameras in the studio in my backyard. He's got this all set up. It's just like magic the way this thing operates. It's really cool. Well, now, if I can do that, you can do that. See, that was something that I started to understand at one time. Whenever I was reading about anybody, whatever they were saying, if they could do it, then I can do it. We're all the same. The only difference is the frequency that we're operating on. It's not how much money you've got. It's not who you know. It's the frequency you're operating on. You've got to get that straight. Some people say, yeah, but look at all the people you know. It doesn't matter if you know anybody. You don't have to know anybody. It just happens. When you get on the right frequency, you start attracting it. And you cannot stop it coming to you until you change the frequency. It's like turning on a radio station. Whatever's on that frequency is what's going to be broadcast through your radio. Well, whatever's on the frequency you're on is what's going to be broadcast through your life, like the actions and the results. It's all an expression of that. It's all about the mind, and it's about your marvelous mind. And we got to get this straight. Most people do not understand this. I have people say, well, I understand it. Listen, if you really understand it, check your results. That'll tell you. By their fruit you'll know them. It's the best advice. Check your results. See, you can know something intellectually but not know it. You can know it intellectually. You stay here and you read this and you'll say, you could repeat it. But the results aren't there. Why? You don't get it yet. You've got to get it on a subjective level. It's got to become part of your paradigm. When it's a part of your paradigm, it'll manifest in your physical world. And if it's not part of your paradigm, it's going to just stick in your consciousness. Now, what you've got to realize is that you started out as a little kid prior to school, learning, develop the intellect. You went to school, and it's all about the intellect. That's the whole deal. Develop the intellect. It's not about the intellect. Some real dumb people, intellectually, build big organizations. You can build an organization all over the world, and you may not be very bright intellectually. There's people that can neither read nor write. They're functionally illiterate, and yet they build multi-million-dollar organizations. How come? That's what's operating in their subjective mind. It's the subjective mind that's manifesting in your life. If you don't like what's in your life, get your ego, get your intellect the hell out of the road. If you don't change your subjective mind, you're not going to change anything.
Okay, awesome, awesome. That is the great Bob Proctor. Now, let's discuss some of that. Some of you all who this is new information to you, it may have gone over your head. Some of you guys have been kind of like on that wavelength for a while. What are some of the key things that really stood out to you? We're going to discuss some of this before we move on to the baseball system. Go ahead, Neverly. Because this was powerful. I want to make sure y'all are getting it and knowing how to apply it to you. Go ahead, Neverly.
Good morning. Greetings from Chicago. You know, I'm always on the road, so
Yes.
but I said let me try to get on lunch and learn. So, a few things. First you started out with what do you really want? Okay, yeah. You have to understand, you gotta know what you want. So, he said you have the ability to create your own economy, and that's powerful in itself
Mm-hmm.
because you are your own person, and so you got to have it in your mind that this is what you can do. And then he talked about the law of the universe, attraction, and that was powerful as well. So he said we can create the lifestyle we want, and he said the frequency that we are operating on. Oh my God, that was so. You have to explain that one, but you understand what I'm saying. That frequency, and then your marvelous mind. So those are some of the things I wrote down that he was talking about.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Neverly. I'll go back and hit on that frequency. And we're gonna later this week, tomorrow, or the next day, we'll see another video just really that hones in on frequency and what that is and how to use it. But some really great points you brought out. And number one, y'all, I want to make sure everybody on here, do you know what it is that you want? Are you clear? If we relate this to Sunday in business and we're talking about rank, everyone should be really clear on what it is that they want as far as rank. And remember, he said you should write your affirmation. I want everybody to have a goal card, have an index card, and write down, I'm so happy and grateful now that. Now that what? I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a 2-star or above by, and let's not even say February, because yeah, you want to walk across the stage in February, but you need to be that before February in order to make sure that you walk across the stage. So maybe, well, if I were you, I would say January, or before January 2026. Right? That's what I would do. But I'm so happy and grateful now that, so everybody on here should have that affirmation written out in present tense based on the rank goal. All right, next person, I saw Marva and then Morris.
Oh,
Good.
Boomy, can you repeat that again? Excuse me. I
I
am so happy and grateful.
Yeah, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a 2-star ambassador. I mean, or what, a 2-star
Okay.
director, or 1-star director, 1-star director, whatever it is that your goal is. Okay.
Mhm. Thank you.
All right, Marva.
Okay, thank you so very much for allowing us to see that slide. That was very interesting. And I like the part where it says, um, first of all, be the star of your own movie.
Mhm.
And so that means that um, if you have questions and problems or anything, call someone who has the knowledge to help you out, for one thing. Um, the baseball system that we use, excellent thing to use, and we should always write down our goals. Um, but Boomy, you took my words out of my mouth when you started talking, so I'm gonna just stop with that.
Well, you
But
can say it again.
really, but
Repetition is good.
but it is good for us to write down our goals each day and to pray on what we really, really want.
Absolutely. And remember, I posted in the chat for you guys yesterday or the day before the list of the personal development practices. Pick 5 out of the 10 daily that you should be doing to in the morning power yourself up. Get yourself on the right frequency for attracting those things that you want and moving powerfully through your day. So thank you for sharing, Marva. We'll go to Morris.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon, Boomy. Good afternoon or good morning, team, depending on where you're zooming in from. A couple things that I got from Bob Proctor. The one thing, just to start, is basically whatever you want to have, you have to put it in detail. And there's a couple people that actually said the same thing. Um, you know, you, I think if you don't write down what your goals are, you don't know really what you're chasing and what you're trying to accomplish.
Mhm.
Um, so I know, Boomy, you had told us before about using Chat GPT with creating kind of our roadmap to identify where we want to be by when we want to get there. I actually did do my roadmap, knowing how many people I need to bring in per week to get to 2-star. I think I had September 30th. I wanted to get to 2-star. Um, I believe I can get there a little bit earlier. Of course, I'm going to really, get a little bit more out of my comfort zone to kind of get that
Mhm.
done. The other thing that I heard from the video is whatever you put in your subconscious mind is basically what you'll believe or what will happen. I think whenever you know we we think negatively about different things, when you put that doubt and fear in your mind, it causes you to kind of slow down a little bit more. Um, but you got to put in the uh, kind of the I'm successful. I believe in myself. That kind of affirmation you've been talking about, especially on Sunday night, and as you've been always talking about. And then the last thing uh, you brought up about getting on the right frequency. The one thing that you'll notice, there's people out there watching what you're doing, whether it's on social media, not always business, but if they get to know you, you'll start attracting those
Hmm.
people um, that are really looking for something because they're going to look at something. There's going to be one day that you put something out on Facebook or on Instagram or TikTok where it's going to make it click and that light bulb will go off. So you really want to get on the right frequency with the people that you believe that you can be doing business with and that you want to kind of surround yourself with. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Mo. Couple things about what Mo said. Mo did a video yesterday on getting out of your comfort zone, didn't you, Mo?
Yes.
And tell us a little bit of what inspired you to do that, and talk a little bit about you doing videos.
I'm sorry, Boomy, I had some food in my mouth. I didn't expect you to call back on me that quick.
Mhm.
No, I mean, I was actually out and about yesterday, and I was pitching yesterday, pitching the ball, and I think sometimes we have people that are on our chicken list, people that you don't want to approach, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and approach these people, and whatever the outcome is what the outcome is. So I decided to just put a video out there just to state, for us to get to where we want, sometimes we have to get out of our comfort
Mhm.
zone. Um, our comfort zone is easy for us to kind of stay in. It's kind of safe and protected from all of the things that we're trying to accomplish. But for you to get to where you want to get to, you have to kind of, I don't want to say dip your toe in. You might as well just go ahead and jump in and get wet. Whatever the outcome is, the outcome. So I just decided to do that video yesterday afternoon.
And that was so good. And so, as Mo was saying, we've got to, and we wrote this down on Sunday. If you didn't write it down now, learn to do the hard things. Learn to do the hard things. Success is created in the fear zone. So don't think, oh, this is scary. I'm not going to do it. Think, oh, this is scary. I'm going to press in and do it because this will cause growth for me. Yes, as Mo said, there will be people on your chicken list that you feel like, oh, I'm a little nervous about calling them. I mean, you're not going to die. The worst that could happen is that they say no. Press up against those barriers. Do it afraid and do it. You'll be better for it. And then what he said, there's a book that I didn't put on this first book list that we got to have on the book list, and you may want to get now and listen to it. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. You got to truly understand, as Bob said, that everything gets started in the mind. And I want this team to understand that you need to, hold on, somebody needs to meet up. You need to intentionally program your subconscious. Why? Because that's where your results come from. It's not like whether you think it's true or not. I mean, it's true. It's universal law. It's the way God made it up. Everything starts in the mind, and your results come from what's programmed in your subconscious, not what you say. Because you can say one thing, that's maybe a conscious thought where you speak something, but your conditioning, when he says your paradigm, that is the conditioning and your programming. All of us are running on a program. And so the program that you are running on is what is going to dictate the results that you get in your life, because that program determines your thinking, your perception, your perspective, your actions, your belief, all of that. And so um I got so much stuff that I can share with you all, and I will be sharing with you over the years, but there's some things that you can listen to on YouTube at night so that it can really get into your subconscious to program yourself. And one of the things that Bob said is you got to have a strong ego. Guys, if you want to be successful, you must have a strong ego. He said, now you don't want an ego problem. That's not what we're saying. But you've got to have a very strong self image. In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, he has a formula called the confidence formula. Having a strong confidence is vitally important. If you don't have it, you need to grow that confidence. And the confidence formula is in Think and Grow Rich. So all good stuff. Mo, did you raise your hand again, or is it still up from before?
Yeah, I raised my hand again. And the other thing I wanted to add, and she's not on here right now. Um, one of my um, one of my partners, Ramona French, actually
Mhm.
did like her first live yesterday. And I was kind of shocked because we've been talking about this for a while. And she said she spoke with Boomy yesterday, and she said, you know what? I'm gonna go out here and just do it and put it out there.
Yes.
Now that live, I think it was maybe about 3 minutes long, but it was phenomenal. It was
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. And there was a lot of people that, because she said, 'cause I spoke with her today and I said, hey, have you looked at the comments? And she said, no, I haven't looked at the comments. And I said, well, you need to look at the comments because there are people out there really supporting you and showing you, hey, this is great. We haven't seen you in a while. You're doing great. Keep doing them. Because she's a real introvert and been, basically kind of keeping to herself a lot. So this is really big for her, but she's starting to learn a little bit more about these are the things that I need to do. I need to put myself out there on Front Street to kind of let people know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm about. So,
Yes.
Boomy, I appreciate you. As always, I appreciate you reaching out to, talking to her and helping her to kind of, push her a little bit more to get out there because she's really, really excited. That's all I
Oh,
got, Boomy.
you're welcome. Thank you for that. Which makes me think. And when Ramona put her video, guys, it wasn't about Trevorium. So I'm trying to show you all. I want you all to learn. Don't just be salesy Trevorium, Trevorium. When Mo showed up talking about stepping out of your comfort zone, it was like to impact and inspire to help others, because everybody needs to be stepping out of their comfort zone to be a better person at whatever it is that we need to do, right? And so Ramona talked about, she had told me like she really wants to help a certain segment of women and serve women and help them to really show up powerfully or whatever. So that's what she talked about. That is a message that helps you to grow your audience. It's nothing about that feels, icky. It makes people feel like, oh, she's trying to sell me something, but it grows the audience. It will help people to know, like, and trust Ramona. You need to be working when you post your videos on the KLT factor so people can know you, like you, and trust you. And in time, when people know you, like you, and trust you, and you've been serving and you've been growing your audience, when you do come to people with something, they are going to readily listen because you've been giving them value. Okay. So just police yourself, because some of you will say a lot about Trevorium, a lot about the savings, and everything is about that. That feels like an ad. People will know, oh, every time I go to his wall, he's just going to be saying, something to try to get me to buy something. And that's not how you do this thing successfully in the long term. Literally, you want like 80% lifestyle, value, inspiration, and maybe 20%. Sometimes you go a little heavier, but 20-30% of business. Okay. Anybody else have anything
Yeah,
to share?
boom, it is I got Sheila. something to say.
Hey, go ahead,
Go
Sheila.
ahead. Okay, and I wanted to share this because I'm so glad you sent that out. I'm traveling and, and headed to an appointment, but um, this was really great. And the one word, frequency. And I was sitting there meditating a minute and understanding that frequency is the rate at which something vibrates. And I was listening at people talking about you, and when uh, people talk to you and how they leave that conversation just ready. And I can witness to that. Now, also, it's often related to one's state of being or consciousness. Now, this really helped me because when he stated the word frequency, it made me really just kind of do a little deeper search from my angle as a minister's wife spiritually. And it says metaphorically, it's described the energy level of thoughts, emotion, and overall well being. Higher frequencies are associated with positive states like love, joy. Lower frequencies are linked with negative, like fear and anger. And I was listening to different people talk, and really, this is so good for me because those positive emotions that we put off. And it was talking about how you can even have spiritual growth. And you just mentioned it about spiritual raising your vibrational frequency through practices like meditation, mindfulness, positive thinking can lead to a whole awakening and a stronger connection to things that you desire in life. And that word frequency is powerful this morning because a lot of times we hold back because of fear, and we kind of are not for sure, but actually that's a frequency that we're putting off.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we gotta, like you said, we gotta constantly put ourselves in those uncomfortable places in
Mm-hmm.
order to begin to achieve what we're wanting to have. So I really appreciate this today. I do. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Sheila. You brought out many good points that we don't even have time to get into today. But, guys, we will. That's why we're saying stay in the loop with the big group. Understand that when you bring people to our team, it's not just bringing them to Travorium. You are helping that T and bit that we said it was standing this month for transformation. You are helping people to transform their lives. When they come onto our team and learn this information, it's not just going to help them in this business, but it's going to help them to transform as a person. And so, oh my gosh, it's so much we can get into if we talk about frequency, but all of us are on a frequency. We are all vibrating, right?
Mhm.
Everything has a frequency to it. And I don't know if y'all caught this, but Bob gave the secret to manifestation, to attracting what you want. Everything has a frequency, and you've got to get on that frequency of your desires. That's it. That's like the law of attraction, right? That's how it works. So everything vibrates. Nothing is at rest. If you look at this pen, it looks like it's just still as a pen, but with the right model, with the right microscope, you're going to see, right? The cells, the energy in this moving, that is vibrating. Even the pen has a frequency. So you have a frequency. Right now, you are emitting a signal. You are like a broadcasting station, and there's a signal being emitted from you. Well, like attracts like. Whatever you're emitting, all the things, the ideas, the thoughts, the other people, the circumstances that are in harmony with that frequency, that are in harmony with that vibration, is going to come and into your physical world, right? That's kind of like the basis of the law of attraction. But Bob said the law of attraction isn't the primary law. The primary law is the law of vibration. So you'll learn more about that. But learning more about that is Delton trying to get back in. Learning more about that is really going to help you to know how to ask for things and have them show up, because you're policing yourself when you know, oh my gosh, my thoughts have been low frequency thoughts. I've been walking in doubt. I've been walking in fear. I've been walking in not enough. When I listen to the tapes I've been playing in my mind, they're not things that say I am able, I am capable, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, I'm in the image of God, I've got the power, I've got the ability, it is done. And so when you can realize, oh my gosh, I've been having stinking thinking, low vibration, giving me low results, then you can be intentional about thinking on a higher frequency to get higher results in your life. So it's all such good stuff. Anybody else before we move on?
Yes, I want to say something, but you hit most of everything I was saying.
Go ahead,
But
Nora.
you know how he was saying that our lifestyle we can change, we can create our own lifestyle that we want in this life,
Mm-hmm.
and touch about like you always saying about the frequency we operated on. You know, the right frequency is going to bring in that energy, and it's like the spiritual realm. You get into the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
God said we can have what we say, but we have to believe what we say in order to receive it. And we have to have this energy. We got to have this positive mindset, you know, and we got to speak positive words out of our mouth because words create things, you know, and then that's where that energy comes in with that frequency, like you were just talking about. And, you know, we gotta have that. You know, we can't have a negative mindset. We can't have negative people come around us because if we have negative people coming around us and we're not in the place that we need to be with the positive thoughts, that thing gonna fall on us. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to stay around positive people, have that positive mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because God said in His Word, you know, He gave us power to get wealth.
Yes.
You know, so we have to learn how to use the power in us to get what we need. God made us. You know what I'm saying? He created us, and we have everything we need in us. And we got to learn how to attach in the spiritual realm that frequency so we can get the things that we need. You know, and when we went to the Las Vegas training, it was so phenomenal. It was so awesome. I really enjoyed myself. And one of the couples come to me and I introduced myself and they introduced themselves. And she was saying, "Oh no," and she was like, "Hi." She was like, "You know what? I see you on Facebook. I see you on TikTok and all that. And you just inspired me so much, you know, with them videos." And it's just like, I'm not a person that normally do that. But by just listening to your videos, what you put out, that make me get up and do one. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God for that because she said it to me, but how many more people see me and be inspired by, you know, what I put out on the videos and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
that just blessed me. That this PRoctor, I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna listen to his messages because this right here is powerful stuff. You know, that's gonna help me get to the level that I need to get to the rank that I need to be in, so I
That's
can
right.
walk across that stage in Orlando in
Awesome.
February. I'm walking across that stage. Oh yes, I am.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, Nora. I'm going to move on to
You're welcome.
um uh with the Thais, and then we got to talk some couple things about the baseball system. But Nora, you're so right, y'all. I mean, everything gets started in the spiritual realm before it gets into the physical, and we got to learn how to, walk in that. So that's why in the mornings when we start with our meditation, our prayer, our visualization, our affirmations, that's getting tapping into that powerful spiritual realm where everything starts and then it comes into the physical. Go ahead,
That's right.
Thais.
I was just going to say that I heard recently, and I hate to say cannot remember who said it was a woman, but she said wealth is our birthright,
Mm-hmm.
and if you are in your Bible like you should be, it absolutely is, and it says it in the Bible. So what we do is in the like for instance, when Bob Proctor said be the star and director of your own movie, is we make things harder than what it has to be.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what 100% goes on, no matter what they're dealing with as far as my clients, whether it's anxiety, whether it's fear of failure, whether it's depression for whatever reasons, lack of confidence, whatever they're dealing with, it all falls under the umbrella of not believing that you are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Mm-hmm.
Every single mental health challenge that we have keeps us from being the star and director of our own movie. And that's just what it all boils down to. And also, if you stay in your Bible, will realize what is being taught now, like attraction marketing, or not very recently. It started, some years back,
Mm-hmm.
but all of that being taught now is biblical principles.
Yes.
What did Jesus have to do? Attract people to him so that he can bring them to God and salvation. That's what he did
Mm-hmm.
for a couple of years. That's how he walked the earth. That's what he did. So we just have to understand that the spiritual realm is the umbrella. Everything else falls under that. Our mental
Yes.
health, our emotional health, even our financial health, our willingness to grow, to personally develop, it all falls under the umbrella of our spiritual health first.
And I'm so glad you said willingness to grow and the intention to grow, because this is, we're talking about personal growth. When we say in the morning to power yourself up by saying your affirmations and speaking how you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and speaking how you have the power to get wealth, and whatever it is you're speaking over yourself, and reading the transformational books and listening to the transformational audios that will help to solidify that growth mindset into you. It's like something intentional that you like, I got to do this. There's so much negativity on my job. There's so much negativity in the world, on the TV, people, conversations, whatever. I've got to shore myself up, make sure that I'm strong, make sure the right things are planted in my subconscious so that I can win and move and do all the things I need to do the way I need to do them, despite all this negative stuff that's going out here. I got to maintain my high vibration frequency. So all of you all have contributed some great comments. Thank you. I appreciate you all. So remember, as your people come on, make sure you're helping them to be strong. Make sure they have the daily 10. They choose 5 out of the 10 personal development practices. They have a list of our book list as well. And I'm going to put the Bob Proctor audio into the chat. And the repetition of information is not, oh, I heard it one time and that's enough. No, you got to keep on listening over and over. Bob read Think and Grow Rich every day for 60 years, guys, until he passed. Every day. He didn't miss a day. So now we're going to go to the baseball system. Let me try to share another slide. And I want to go to the baseball system because the baseball system is something that I want you all to make sure. Cannot minimize Zoom while you're recording. Okay. I want to make sure that everybody is truly learning. And as I talk to team members, what I see is a lot of people are not following it step by step. And they feel like, oh, well, some parts of it are negotiable, or I don't have to do such and such. So I want to just go over some of the I'm trying to pull up this baseball system slide, y'all. I want to go over some of the like psychology behind it so y'all can get the things that are really important. Okay, there we go. Okay. Can you see that slide, the baseball method of building your team?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I want you all as leaders to really know this like the back of your hand, good enough to really teach it. And when we can teach this system to all of our team members, it's just going to be we're going to be like a factory just popping out platinum directors, and papping out the platinum directors is just going to keep all the ranks, moving up. So understand, I learned this a long time ago. I learned the baseball system literally like 2004. So this is nothing new, right? I've been teaching my team this system for 2 decades. Now, the first thing I want you all to understand is what Igor said from the stage, and what I always say, you got to cast your net wide. It's hard doing the business when you're just working on wanting to bring in, oh, Cheryl, I hope Cheryl does it. I hope Don does it. And you're just trying to work on that one person. That's a hard way of doing business. You're so emotionally caught up on if that person says yes or says no. I want y'all to understand, I have no attachment to anybody and what they say, because I always have enough people who I'm pitching to who are starting to either come into my system or going through the system where, for the sake of numbers, somebody's going to say yes. Okay. So get that and teach your team. Learn to cast your net out into the ocean, the pond, wherever you're casting your net, which you want to do it in more than just one place, right? And so you can bring in a bunch of those fish at a time, not just throwing out your fishing rod to get one, but throwing out your net to get many. So I would suggest that you do something like this. So somebody tell me, what's the first thing you do in the baseball method? What do you see here on this image?
Pitch.
The
Pitch,
pitch.
right? So the first
Pitch.
thing is to pitch the ball. Now,
Mhm.
we don't know who's going to say yes or who's going to say no. My mentor taught me, don't play God and try to prejudge. You need people to practice on, so just pitch the ball to everybody, like in your phone, all your contacts, right? You're going to pitch. We're not going to spam. We'll talk about that a whole nother time, but you're going to pitch the ball. So you're sorting and sifting. Write down those words. You're sorting and sifting. You're looking for the people for whom this is the right thing for them to be doing. You don't know who it's going to be, so we're just pitching to a lot of people to get those. You may pitch to 30 to get those 7 who say, yeah, send me the video. Okay. So the first thing you want to make sure is that all of your people have a pitch that they're sending out. So here's a sample pitch. I've discovered a way to make daily pay in the $10 trillion travel, tourism, and lifestyle industry. If I sent you a short video, would you take a look at it? A person can keep it simple like that. I like adding a little like story in there where you may say, "Hey, a good friend that I highly respect tried sent me some information to look at first. I ignored it, but when I finally took a look at it, I'm so glad I did." Or I was praying for a way to make residual income from home, and 3 days later, a friend sent me a text, and man, I found my answer to my prayer, or something like that. So you may can add your little story in it, but basically, everybody on your team, you need to make sure that they have a pitch. Now, the pitch shouldn't be that hard because you all should be pitching a. You should have a copy and paste text that you're sending out to people, so your new people should automatically know. You just say, oh, remember when I sent you at first? That's the pitch. Now you can change it up a little bit for you, but that is the pitch. Okay. So, number one thing is to pitch. Now, this is what I like to do oftentimes. Oh, I got 30 minutes. Let me sit here and pitch out to 30 people. Not one. Oh my God, that would stress me out if I'm just trying to test out the one. Then I want that one to come back to me. Then I want that one to get in. No, I'm just like, and I could give a rip who is going to say what to me. I take my pitch and I send it out to 30 people. I don't care if they don't respond. Some of you like, oh, they ain't responded yet. So maybe they're busy. Maybe they didn't see it. Maybe they don't want to respond. Who cares? But if you use the law of large numbers, some people are going to come back and start playing this game with you. So, can you put this in me? Can you put this baby monitor in the other room or something? Let's make it work. Put it in the family room. Thanks. So, so I need to make sure first before we move on I need somebody to kind of tell me these concepts and principles that I just told you. How do you be more successful at pitching? Use the law of large numbers, stay emotionally disconnected, cast your net far and wide. Somebody repeat this back. I need to make sure you're getting it.
Use the law of large numbers and cashing it. Large.
Your signal must be bad.
Why?
Somebody else.
You can't hear me?
You were breaking up. Go ahead and try again.
Oh, oh, you were saying that we need to use the law of large numbers. Just don't pitch to 5 or 2 people. Keep pitching, like you said, 30 people a day. And so what? If they don't respond back to you, you just keep pitching, keep pitching, keep pitching. Because somebody along the way is going to see that and they're going to respond to you. And we got to learn how to cast our net wide, like you were
Yes.
saying. Why? Why? Like Peter cast the net to get them
Yes.
fish in the Bible.
Now,
And,
listen.
you know,
I'm sorry, I
man,
didn't mean to cut you off. I'm trying to move kind of fast.
no,
This is
go ahead.
called permission-based marketing. So when you ask this question, if I sent you a video, would you take a look at it? Those of you who know Eric Worre, he teaches this. If I would you, it is a formula. If I sent you a
Mhm.
video, would you look at it? If I invited you to a Zoom, would you be able to get on tonight at 9? If I would you. So your texts are more profitable to you, productive, when you end them with a question. When you want people to respond back, always end them with a question. So we're ending it with the if I would you. And so the goal is, hopefully you'll have some people who say, yes, I would take a look at it if you sent me a video. Yes, send it over. Go ahead and send it. Okay. So that is how it all starts with the pitch. So literally, hold on. So literally, the I sit and I just copy and paste. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna pitch out to 12 people real quick. I'm just copy and paste to 12 people. Now let me tell you a couple other things I do. So let's say I pitch out to 30 people, I hear back from 7. Maybe I'll update my pitch in a month or 3 weeks or 2 months, whatever, and I may send out to the same people. Hey, Shirley, I'm not sure if I told you this or not because it's been some months. I'm not sure if I shared this with you or not, but several months ago, I discovered a way to blah 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 blah. Maybe give a little update. Man, I'm so glad I said yes to this. Things are going great. If I sent you a video, would you take a look at it? Right? So. Again, guys, you got to realize how much timing plays a part in this. You will you will have people who tell you this month adamantly, no, 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 do not ever come to me with this. I'm not interested. And if you believe them, you will go to a meeting next year and you will see them at the meeting. But I thought that you said, oh yeah, but my friend came to me and I realized I really needed something like this. So I decided to really look into it. Man, this is great. But you believed them when they said, don't come to me. It's just where they are in that moment. People's change, their mindset changes, they change their mind. And so just understand all this plays into it. All right, so now let's go to first base. Once you pitch and they have said yes, you can send me the video, then you just send them over. I'm so surprised that people were like, oh, well, what do you send? Like, I have my pitch that I send in my notes and I just copy and paste it. It's the same one that I've been sending for, I know, probably a good 6 months. And it's the one, some of you, or if I've ever sent it to you, it says, here are the videos on the hottest lifestyle membership on the planet. And then it's the first video. I actually, even though I asked them if they would take a look at a short video, I have 2 videos in the one text that I send over to them. So I put one, and I put this recently in the WhatsApp chat for you all to see. One, check out Travel for Wealth. This is short, it's only 2 minutes. So click the link as soon as you can. Then I put 2, to get more details, watch this video. I think you're going to love this. It's more details, but still only 20 minutes, then the link. So that's what I send over. because the 2 minute isn't enough, really. I mean, it's enough to see, oh, do they like the concept? And I want them to already have something in that text that they can go right to. Okay. So that's base, first base. Now send the video, have them to watch it. Once they've watched the video, ask, what do you ask? Somebody read to me. What do you always ask?
What do you like about what you saw?
Yes. What did you like best about what you saw? What did you like best about what you heard? Don't ask them, what did you think? Please, teacher team, don't ask, what do you think? They may go to the negative side. Okay. Bob Proctor, you're going to hear him say, people don't think. Don't ask them, what did you think? Ask, what did you like best about what you heard? Okay. Now, if they say something positive, then that qualifies them for the next step, which is a three-way call. But if they're totally negative on you, a man convinced against his will is of the same persuasion still. It's not your job to try to convince them how good it is if they're so negative, okay? So basically what they do, negative people they've disqualified themselves from working with you. They've disqualified themselves from playing ball with you. So we're sorting and sifting, and you get to decide who you work with or not. So again, we're just taking people through the steps. And at any given point, if they exit the game, it's okay. So again, first base, have them watch the videos and find out what they like best about what they heard. Now, understand, sometimes people say they're going to watch the videos and they don't. You may have to remind them. You may have to say, oh, Joe, you haven't gotten a chance to look at the video yet, have you? Sometimes you can say things like, hey, you have 2 minutes. Can you take a look at it right now? And then if they say, and if they say yes, say, okay, it's 10 after 1. I'm gonna give you a call back a quarter after, all right? So you may want to, do it like that. But you got to follow up. My point is, don't be waiting. Oh, this person ain't got back to me yet. I'm still waiting for them to let me know if they've watched it. Let them know that, hey, it's only 20 minutes. Can you watch it now? Oh no, I can't watch it till, this evening when I get off of work. I can watch it at 7. Okay, I'll give you a reminder at 7. I'll give you a quick text, reminder, because I know you're probably busy with the kids or whatever. And then once you've taken a look at it, then I like to find out what you like best about what you saw. All right, go ahead, Neverly.
A quick question, Boomy. So, what about those people that has said, "Oh, they really don't give a response"? And I say that because I can remember Cynthia said, "No, she just ended up being a customer," and then at some point, did someone go back to her, or she just started taking a look at it? Because I got some people on the fence like that. That, when do I go back to them? That type of thing.
Okay, so there was kind of two questions in there.
Yes.
Cynthia's process was she signed up in the beginning as a brand partner. She just didn't take mental acceptance and wasn't working it like that. So she did refer 3 and one more because she referred actually 4 because she got to that $10 in daily pay because those people told some people, but she wasn't working it. She was just using it as a customer. But after 2 years, when she looked at her back office and was like, dang, this company has paid me $8,000, she said, well, what if I really did put something into it? So she made that decision. Look, let me go ahead and work this thing. Now, for people who are on the fence with us, they like it, but they're not sure, whatever. First of all, what you're doing is you need to make sure you're going step by step, right? So let's say they looked at the video, they did the 3-way, they got on a call, they came back to the 3-way again, they still didn't pull the trigger. What I do is say, well, hey, John, well, let me make sure this is okay with you. Is it okay just to check back in with you, every month or so, just to update you and let you know how things are going for me? People typically, I mean, nobody says no, don't just check back in. They'll say, oh yeah. So then I continue just to drip on them, And one way that I drip on them, I tend to be Facebook friends with all my prospects. So if they're seeing my posts, they're knowing that man, I'm excited. These things are moving forward. I'm plugged in. Things are going well. Then maybe every so often, I may check back and say, hey, look, we're having a Zoom tonight. I know that money was your issue. I want you to see how we're making daily pay over here. Hey, would it be a good time for you to revisit the information? So, did that answer your question or not?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. So after first base, guys, which is send them the video, find out what they liked about what they heard, understanding most people just don't watch the video right then. You got to follow up, and sometimes people are busy. They got kids, grandkids, work, whatever. Sometimes their intention is to watch it and they just could forget or whatever. So we just doing our job to help to remind them, follow up or whatever. Then, if they like something that they heard, okay, the next step is the three-way. A lot of people skip this step, but I'm going to help y'all to get good at really understanding the three-way. And when you get good at edification, then the three-way is just kind of like naturally goes into it. So you never, don't do this. Never ask somebody, do you want to speak to somebody? Okay. People don't want to talk to anybody else. So don't say, do you want to talk to somebody? Do you want to speak to my upline? Don't ask them if they want to do this because they don't. And they don't know that this should be the next step. Even if they wouldn't mind, they don't know. You know, you're guiding them through the basis. So what I do, I use the word introduce because we gotta allow people to see it's not just you. You want them to talk to somebody who is winning. So somebody who has a testimony as a three-way call partner, someone else that it shows, hey, there's support here. Because people are thinking, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'll really win. So you got to have some validation. And so when you introduce them to someone other than you, it's validating it. So that's just a couple of the purposes of the three-way call. It also serves as training for you when you get to hear how I answer people's questions, overcome objection, lead them to the next step. So you're being trained, they're being trained, they're seeing that, oh, they don't have to do the explaining because you're there, right? You told them about it, but you're not explaining it. You're just there on mute. You've made the introduction and you're just listening. So it takes away their excuse of, oh man, I'm gonna have to present. I'm gonna have to, talk to a lot of people and say a lot of stuff. No. So the second base is the three-way call. Now, it's very important that you learn how to how to edify your three-way call partner. I'm going to give you all an example. When you edify, it's not for the three-way call partner's ego, it's for your bank account. The better job you do at edifying, the more they hold that person in high esteem. So if I'm edifying Mo, I want to make Mo walk on water like he is the Dr. Phil of Trevorium, right? Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, Thais, I gotta introduce you to one of my business partners, Mo. He comes out of the federal government. He worked for the federal government for years. And when he saw this, he just knew it was a great fit because he wanted to retire and he knew he needed another stream of income. So he is fast on his way to the other side of the money. He's already ranking up. He's such an amazing leader. I mean, you probably will see him on Facebook, doing videos. He's always helping his team. Man, he loves helping people. He has 100% of the facts, and what he don't know, look, he can find out the answer. So hold on. I'm going to see if I can reach Mo because he's somebody you just got to meet. He's just so awesome. And so that's how I do it. Hey, Jackie, I got to introduce you to Neverly. I've actually been knowing her for over 20 years, and she's part of the reason why I know as much as I know in this industry because she introduced me to some key people early on. But she's full of fire. She's making her way to the top fast. I mean, she's focused. She loves what we are doing. She's only been here a short period of time, but I'm telling you, you're going to see her going across the stage. So I want you to meet her because if you decide this is for you, she's going to help you like she's helping me. Hold on, let me see if I can reach her. I didn't ask them anything. I told them, oh, I got to introduce you to. Oh, I got to introduce you to one of my senior business partners named Thais. Man, she's a coach. She's in the mental health field. She loves helping people. She's been a six-figure earner in her regular career, and now she's going to be a six-figure earner in this business as well. And what I love about what she did, as soon as she came in, she really got into the membership. She's saving $700 a month in residual savings from this membership. So whether you see this as a customer or whether you see this to make some money, she's somebody that you have got to meet because she's a true product of a product. And she'll help you the same way that, she's helping me and others. Hold on. Let me see if I can reach her. That's how you do it. I didn't say, "Oh, Shirley, um, yeah, so do you have some questions? Because if you have some questions, I can get you on the phone with somebody that can answer them for you." That's not the way you do it. No. You excitedly edify one of your three-way call partners. You would have texted me or Mo, whomever, to see who's available. Whoever you want to use that's available. All you got to do is say three-way question mark, right? And then to see if we're available. Now, it's always good if you can tell us ahead of time something about the person. Sometimes I have time for the person who was doing my three-way. Sometimes I'll leave them an audio. Sometimes I text it out. If it's going to be kind of in the future, like in a couple hours or whatever, then I may, tell them verbally. But some of you guys are putting people on the phone with me and without giving me any background information. So you got to say, if Neverly's going to do my three-way, I'm going to say, Neverly, I'm going to introduce you to my friend Shirley. She lives in North Carolina. She's a school teacher. She's a mom of five. She works for the government and she is looking for supplemental income. She doesn't know if this is going to be it or not, but what she liked best was the fact that not only you could make money here, but it was the savings too. So you see, I'm giving her all that background information so she can know the connecting points. Maybe she'll connect with, on North Carolina or working for the government. She already knows that she's seen the whole video, that she likes the savings. So you got to give us that kind of information. So, but the only way you know that information is if you ask, what did you like best? So it's your job to make sure you know what they like best. If they can't tell you, they probably didn't really watch it. And sometimes you just got to call people. Wait a minute, Joe. It sounds like you didn't watch that video. Did you really watch that whole thing? Just straight up ask them. Look, you gotta watch the whole thing. Oh, I watched 10 minutes of it. Okay, go watch the other 10 minutes of it. Can you go watch it now? Can you watch it this evening? All right, now I'm gonna call you this evening and then we'll talk from there. Okay, so you got to make sure that people have seen it. So for the three-way call, you're introducing them to someone other than you because they need that introduction. They need the support. They need to hear from somebody else. Okay, now the person doing the three-way is going to lead them to the next step, which is, what's the third base?
Watching a bigger picture.
Yes,
Yeah.
show the big picture. So they may have seen a small little, snippet or whatever, but third base is the bigger picture. Remember what I taught you, like the repetition of the information is good. That's what they see, the 2 minute. Maybe they see T and Richie 20-minute. Then they talk to us. Then the big picture is the Show Me the Money Zoom, the Thursday Lifestyle Membership Zoom, or maybe a recording of that. Okay. So the big picture is when they see the full presentation and all the slides to get the full details. That's the big picture. Sometimes, let's say if you're talking to a person first on a Wednesday and it's close to the Zoom time, well, if they might go right to the big picture and you don't have the time to do the three-way beforehand, that may happen sometimes, but just make sure you do it afterwards. Always do the three-way, okay? The best way for it to work is like you see here, 2 3 ways. Once they have just seen something that, and they respond to that first pitch, they take a look at something, you do the three-way if they like anything they saw. Now, what does it say? What's in red there under third base? It says, once again, ask what?
What did you like
What did you like
best
best about what you saw?
of what you heard or saw?
Same question that you asked on first base, you're asking after they see the big picture. People don't just give you their credit card and say, oh my God, I want to sign up. Here's my 370. Even if they like it, even the first step in the sales process for most people when we share something with them is resistance, okay? So just know, just a person being like, oh no, I'm not sure, it doesn't mean that they're not going to do it, right? Just human nature, people just kind of put up that resistance. But once they have seen this big picture, you still got to go back to them and now ask, hey, Charlie, man, wasn't that awesome information? I'm telling you, every Wednesday, I'll be wanting to sign up all over again. What did you like best about what you saw tonight? Ask them that. Don't, some of you are like, oh, I don't know if my person was on or not. What? I don't even understand how you could not know. I am looking in the participants list. I am saying, texting my people saying, oh, Joe, I don't see you on. And sometimes, like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Let me get on. Right? And then I may say, all right, I'll call you real quick afterwards to see what you like best about what you heard. Sometimes they may say, oh, I got to go straight to bed. Let's talk tomorrow. Okay, fine. If not, we'll talk tonight. So, but again, you edify what they just saw. Man, Mo, wasn't that phenomenal? Every time I see that presentation, I'll be wanting to sign up again. Whoa, my goodness, wasn't it just so awesome? All that savings. I'm telling you, when I saw all the savings, I knew this, I needed this membership in my life. What did you like best about what you heard? So you're edifying what they just saw, right? You're making it feel good. You're bringing a good energy into the conversation, and then you're asking that question again. Then they said, "Oh, okay, I like the whatever it is that they like." All right, well, look, hold on. I'm gonna get us back on the phone with Boomy so she can show you what the next step is. Okay? And then when you get them back on the phone, answer any of their last questions. We help them overcome the project any objections if there are some, and then get them in. So it says, congratulations. Bring your prospect back to your senior business partner to answer his or her questions and help to close them out. Now, some of you who are already seasoned leaders yourself and you do 3 ways, once that person has taken a look at the big picture, you know how to say and ask, look, John, look, let's go ahead and get you started. Okay? Wasn't that just awesome? Oh man, I loved it. I loved it. Well, look, I'm right in front of my computer. It only takes 10 minutes to sign you up. So I can do it or I can walk you through. Which one would you prefer? So I'm just assuming the close. I'm just assuming, hey, that they're ready. If they've got some questions, you can bring them back to me or Cynthia, Mo, whoever's your 3-way call partner. But let me show you this as we end, guys. Taking a person's temperature, and you're going to learn to do this. Ask the prospect the following questions. Now, if you're new, you don't feel confident, you don't need to do this yet, this is what we would do as your 3-way call partner. And one day you'll learn to do this. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being you didn't like anything that you heard, and 10 being that you are ready to get started today, how would you rate your level of interest? I love using this. I've been using this for 20 years because it gives me a gauge on where the person is. If a person is like, after going around these bases and they're still a 5, like you've seen all this and you still like are kind of lukewarm about it, they ain't signing up tonight. But if they're like an 8 or higher, all right, well, let me ask you, what would it take to get you to a 10? Maybe it's that they just didn't understand something about the compensation. Maybe they loved it, but they don't have the 370 on their card. And then I know to ask, well, let me ask you this. If you had the money, would you get started tonight? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I would definitely. Well, look, let's welcome you to the team. And so I help them to take mental acceptance of just go ahead and consider yourself in. And when what you focus on expands, that money, you will attract it to you. And then you will it will show up and you can go ahead and literally get your website when it happens. But this is the process, guys. When you the temperature gauge, if they're 1 to 3, oh my God, they are like exit your game. Maybe you stay in touch with them, but there's a low interest. 4 to 6 is an average interest. Sometimes they just need more looks. The average number of looks a person needs is 7. That means some people need 14. Some people need to get on the call for weeks. It gets the confidence up, and then finally they say yes. Some people, once in a while, you have somebody, they look at it, girl, I've been praying for this. I know this is for me. Look, I'm ready to get started. Sometimes a person may need 14 looks. Sometimes they may need 2. The average is 7. But when you've taken them around these bases, they've had like at least 4, looks through this process. Okay. And again, 7 to 9, what would it take to get you to a 10? If they're a 10, hey, let's go ahead and sign them up. Okay. So this is the baseball system, guys. You got to learn it. You got to do it. This is how we execute. Taking people step by step. Sponsoring is just a process. It's a simple step-by-step process of taking people through the information. And I'm telling you, when we get good at this, we're going to be popping ranks like crazy. People are just going to be coming in, getting their daily pay fast and just moving, moving, moving. Anybody have any questions or insights or anything?
Yeah, Boomy, this is Wanda.
Hey, Wanda.
Yeah, hi. I was on the phone with my sister during the call. It slipped my mind. Okay, I gotta remember we have this every week. I was talking to her and she's seen the video, and I think I didn't ask her directly the question that you were talking about. What did you like about it best? But we were talking about me doing a what do you call it, a party at my other sister's house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of led into that, and I edified you. I said, look, and she was telling me that she has a lot going on, and I said look, I said, Dawn, I said, what if you could save money on the things that you're already basically spending money on? What if it could help you save the money? And so I said, look, there's a lady that I want you to meet, and I kind of edified you to her, and I said, look, if you want, I can connect you with her today. So I'm going to send her the 20-minute video. I'm going to send it to her again, her 20-minute video, and she's engaged. So I'm going to ask her to send it also to her fiance. And so then once I hear from them, I mean, you tell me if that's okay to do, because I'm not sure. Let me know.
Oh, yeah, it's always good when the partner can see it as well, because people typically say, oh, I got to check with my boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever. So that's good. I don't know if you actually said these words. The only thing I would change, be careful of, if you said if you want to, again, I don't ask people, it's not about if they want to or not, it's just what they need to do next.
Okay.
Oh man, I gotta introduce you to my business partner. So
Mhm.
I am your business partner. Okay. So
Okay.
that's the way I like to do it. Some people say senior business partner, so that can kind of show people, oh, it's someone that's at another level than me. I don't even say, a lot of people don't even know what upline is, and that's network marketing lingo. People may not understand. So I just say,
Okay. Okay.
my senior
Senior
business
partner.
partner.
Senior business
Bunmi.
partner. Got it. Okay.
Yes. I see
What?
you. Well, man, I see Ty East and then somebody after that.
Sorry, I had to unmute. I was going to ask if we can do a training that is really just practicing
Yes.
pitching. I'm a role play person, so it gets more ingrained in my head when I hear it.
Yes, that's so good. I've been thinking about that because in my Zoom, I can do breakout rooms. And that's what you need to do, because it's about now, it's not just the words coming at you. You get to practice with the partner. So we can have breakout rooms of 2 or 3 people and you practice whatever it is. Practice if you calling and saying a pitch, practicing the edification, practicing what you say after a person's taking a look at it and edifying the big picture presentation. So yes, we need to schedule that. That's a great idea. Thank you, Thais. There was somebody, I heard a guy's voice.
Yes, it's Stephen.
Hey, Stephen.
What about saying mentor? A lot of times when I'm talking to someone, I'll say mentor. I heard you say partner. What about saying the word mentor?
Yeah, I don't think anything's wrong with that. Yeah, one of
Okay.
my business mentors. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's a
I
lot of
use
time when
that.
I'm talking. A lot of time when I'm talking to someone, I'll say meet my mentor.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
I said that too to my sister. She's like a mentor to me, and she helps people to earn a 6-figure income.
Yeah, that works. That works. Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, it is 1:30. Thank you so much for
Hey,
staying
hey,
on.
Bunmi, I'm sorry, I had my hand up real
Oh, I
fast.
didn't see. I'm sorry. Go
Uh,
ahead.
no worries. Can we get a list of the three-way call partners? I know I can do 3 ways, but I know you, but every now and then, if you're busy or tied up, and I got a hot person that I wanted to do the 3-way, can you provide us with just a few names so
Yeah,
they be
we'll
on
get
our
that.
radar?
We'll get that
Okay.
because right now everybody has Cynthia's numbers on the getting started checklist at the top on the right. Everybody should have the getting started checklist. So Cynthia's number is on there, but we do have other people who can do 3 ways who have said, hey, I don't mind doing them even if the person's not on my team. I think Mo is one of them. I think Anthony in the mornings before he goes to work. I think he was another one. So we'll make that list. It's okay to put you on that list, Mo?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, thank you. All righty. All right, guys. Well, let's get out here, be bold, be an inspiration, and help to transform lives. We are focused, we are favored, we are financially free, right? We are BIT. So let's do those hard things and keep moving
Amen.
forward. All right, guys.
Mhm.
See you
All
later.
right.
Amen.
Thank
I'll
you
get
Thank
for
some
you
All right.
very
lists
Have
much
a
so
good
together.
much.
day.
Love you
Everybody have
all.
a
All right,
great day, a
everyone.
All
successful
right.
day.
Mhm.
See you
Y'all
Take
guys.
have a
care.
blessed
Bye.
day,
Thank you.
everybody.
Have a
Thank you,
good
Bunny.
Good
one.
day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Be blessed.
All right. See you, Luther.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
See you, Stephen.